lost. Because at the back of your head, you're saying that I might be at fault. And so that's going to hinder you. Anybody trying to get back something that you lost? Don't think about it because I'm gifted and I'm called and God has blessed me with it. You're going to have to fight. You're an anointed, but you're still going to have to fight. You're God's called, and you're still going to have to fight. Because you're right, you're still going to have to fight. Anything that you want that God has given to you and you lost it, you're going to have to fight. But the kings that had fled, and he told them to roll the stones in front of the cave and keep fighting. How many times you had to roll a stone in front of something that you hadn't conquered? He had to conquer them, but he had it under control. See, the kings had fled into this cave, and he didn't have time to address the kings right now, and because he was in a hot battle, and he rolled these stones over, and he wanted it under control. The first stage of recovery is bringing stuff under control. You got to control it. You got to control your temper. You got to control your fears. You got to control your bad habits. The tendency to quit everything, you got to put it under control before you move forward. You can't see it because you roll a stone in front of it. But you got it under control. Before you go forward, you have to put it under control. Remember how the people, and before they got married, and you didn't see what was actually, what that person was made of. And when you got married, you see lions, tigers, and bears, and you see 5 different kings. The authority, but all under control. I still got many things out here to do, but I still got that under control. The Bible says that a man ain't control over his own spirit. It's like a city without walls. No safety. You get to be able to build something and resist them. It's not that you still have them, but God has given you the power to control it. Brother John, what God has given you, God has given you control. I still have high blood pressure, but they have given me a pill to put it under control. I still have diabetes, but they still give me a pill. I got that under control. I still have to move forward. I can't stop and sit there and soak myself as to what I got. I got to kill. I got to still move forward. I got things to do, Brother Scott. I can't sit here and worry about that. God has given me the power to continue to keep it under control. It's not, God can heal anything. God, that's all he has to do is speak the word. He got examples all through the Bible. God can heal it. But until he do, I'm going to continue to take that pill and keep it under control. If it showed up and leaked, that's just like Deacon Clemens, if they had this guy with a roofing problem and it was dripping water in the kitchen. But the problem was somewhere else. You don't hear me. But and what happens is that sometimes how many things in your life that showed up over here, but that's not the source, that's not the problem. That's a symptom, but that's not the source of the problem. See, we fight the symptom and not the source. Children act up at home and go to school. Go to school and act up. The child is not the problem. The source of the problem is at home. someone else's marriage. What you're dealing with over here might be coming from somewhere else. Your marriage. Your wife is upset. She might get upset with you for not taking out the trash. But that's not the problem. The problem is somewhere else. That's a symptom of the problem, but that's not the problem. She could have had a bad day at work. The kids could have made her upset. But that's not the source of the problem. We deal with the symptom. You take out the trash and she's still mad. Worry about the kids in school and the kids acting a fool, and then you address the kids, but the kids are not the problem. They're just acting out what they see at home. So you can finish continuing on with the problem. See, once you have done that, you have to deal with the next stage of the problem. The next stage of the problem is the conquest. See, Joshua and them had went into the cave, you know, and they had the kings they had the kings in the cave. They had that under control. So they had to go ahead and keep fighting. Joshua in that verse, about the 13th verse, he said, let the sun stay up so I can continue to fight. I have a battle in front of me. I have issues. I have circumstances. So I have to continue to fight. Don't lose my today by going back to fight in yesterday. Some things you just have to go after. You challenge something to challenge you. Something to make you get out of bed. You know, when the children of Israel were receiving the manna from heaven, it was coming down, but they had to reach for it. It didn't just fall in their laps. Something that you have to reach for. If you're sick, get up out of the bed. If you're pained, if you're fearful, you still have to put it in the mouth and let me reach for it. The kings are in the cave. And God says, now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly. You need a conquest. You need to conquer something in your life. Some people have 9 things going on at one time. They need to put a roll of stone in front of them finances and keep on going and come back and deal with it. The king during the cave, and he needed a conquest away from every easy assignment. Deliver me from everything that's easy and going through the motions and something that's been handing down. I don't need an easy assignment because I'm not going to do what I need to do. Brother Samuel, I'm not going to pray when I need to pray. I'm not going to study. I'm not going to do the things that I need to do because it's not a conquest. It's too easy. It's easy and it's simple. And so if you give me disability, then I'm not going to do nothing. That's not putting a challenge in front of them. If you give me state aid, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm just going to sit there every month and receive what the government will give me. That makes me lazy. That makes me not being able to go forward and get what the Lord has given me. You need something that's going to stretch you, something that's going to make you reach out. Because if you don't have to work for it, you're not going to put away any effort. It's going to make you lazy. You're going to be receiving a silver on a silver platter. You're not going to work for it. They got too many kids and too many people that live around these days and still want somebody to help themselves. They are too lazy. They won't get up. They won't strive for nothing. They won't reach for nothing. They'll sit up on the mama, they'll sit up on the daddy and reach for a handout. Conquest. You see, the lepers said that I already had leprosy. They already had leprosy. Say, if I got leprosy already, I might as well try to better my situation. So they got up and tried to make it to Jesus, regardless of what the people called them, what they had to go through. They say, I want to die. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die out, die going, doing something constructive. Conquest. Now that you have conquered the people, because he said that they nobody said anything bad about Israel. They had conquered all the people. They had the kings in the cave. And now the third